I am delighted to introduce next Larry Kim. Larry is a student at the University of Virginia who also will be receiving the benefits of the legislation. That fellow over there argued the case in the federal district court. So I'm delighted to have Larry Kim join us because Larry is an example of somebody who will be able to continue to receive health care coverage through his parents' policy. Larry?
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Larry Kim, and I'm a 22-year-old student. I'm originally from Annandale, Virginia, and I'm currently a full-time graduate student at the University of Virginia. I'm here today to speak to you about how healthcare reform has helped me. Specifically, the new provision allowing young adults, such as myself, to stay on their parents' health insurance plan. And eventually, in 2014, I will be able to be helped by the new provision putting an end to health insurance denials for individuals with pre-existing conditions. I started having serious health problems when I was just 17 years old. In August of 2006, I was given an extremely potent drug. But due to a lack of monitoring through follow-up blood tests from my physician, I went into acute liver failure just 1 week before my freshman year at JMU. Just a week shy of my 18th birthday, my family and I opted to not undergo a risky and life-changing liver transplant, going against the professional recommendations of my physicians at the University of Pennsylvania Transplant Center. Miraculously, my liver began to slowly recover and regenerate itself while I was in intensive care. I was discharged from the hospital after 2.5 weeks, knowing that I faced a long recovery ahead. I recovered from liver failure much faster than my physician had expected and was given the green light to attend classes at James Madison University for the spring semester. During the recovery process, I had encountered multiple complications. I developed hemolytic anemia, pancreatitis, and ultimately type 1 diabetes from steroidal therapy for my liver. While at JMU, I experienced for the first time the difficulties of receiving primary care services like follow-ups, checkups, and testing outside of my HMO network. As an individual who has a history of liver failure and type 1 diabetes, I found this to be an extremely difficult endeavor. Millions of American students face similar difficulties receiving treatment at school. But because of the Affordable Care Act, which mandates that preventative services be covered by health insurance companies, these preventative services are now much more affordable and accessible. After graduating JMU, like many students, I went into health insurance limbo. My mother's health insurance plan was looking to kick me off once I had graduated. Despite graduating with a Bachelor's of Science degree in Public Health from JMU, I was still unsure how it would secure health insurance if healthcare reform was not implemented. I had become part of the uninsurable population because of my pre-existing conditions, and I was also nearing my lifetime cap on medical services. Fortunately, the Affordable Care Act was enacted in the summer of 2006, and I was able to stay on my mother's plan and continue to receive medications such as expensive diabetic supplies and insulin and follow-up treatment for my liver and type 1 diabetes. Had it not been for the Affordable Care Act, I am unsure how I would have been able to acquire the medication and care I needed to live as a healthy, competent adult. As someone who was forced to learn about the shortcomings of our healthcare system at a young age, I cannot express enough gratitude for the Affordable Care Act. As a regular consumer of the healthcare system, I can already see positive changes as a result of the healthcare law. In 2014, millions of Americans, such as myself, with pre-existing conditions, will be able to focus more of their time and energy into improving their own health, instead of dealing with the discrimination at the hands of health insurance companies. My experience with our healthcare system has changed my life dramatically. I was originally a biology major at JMU with a concentration in pre-medicine. Following my health problems, I decided to switch to a career in public health. I changed majors because I experienced how terribly flawed our healthcare system is and the need for someone who not only knows the system, but has lived it. With a newfound motivation to make a change in healthcare, I graduated from JMU in 3.5 years. I am now pursuing a Master's in Public Health degree at the University of Virginia. I am addressing you today because I have been through our broken system not once but on multiple occasions, and there needs to be changes. Simply put, our current approach to healthcare is not working. The Affordable Care Act was the first of what I hope to be many positive steps at improving our healthcare system. Health is a very funny thing. One day you can be in the best of health, enjoying the company of your friends and family. And then suddenly you could be lying in a hospital bed, deciding whether or not you want a 50-year-old man's liver inside of you. I know it sounds a bit far-fetched, but it happened to me. A healthy 17-year-old with no prior medical history. So it most certainly can happen to any American. Everyone in their lifetime, at one point or another, is a consumer of the healthcare system. The new healthcare law will help so many young people like myself, people with pre-existing conditions like myself, and virtually every American who will be a consumer of healthcare. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you all today.